Welcome to Miss Scarlett. Subscribe and don't miss out on Patreon. Have fun! The days off stretched endless, a blank slate of tranquility amidst the routine. Leon embraced the calm within his apartment, transformed into a cozy haven from the remnants of the week's chaos. The couch embraced him as he relaxed, remote poised like a conductor's baton, his drink within reach, promising uninterrupted solace. A sudden doorbell discordantly shattered the peaceful atmosphere. Urging himself up from the couch's embrace, he moved barefoot towards the door, clad in casual comfort. As he swung open the entrance, a familiar face greeted him. A vibrant smile at the ready, arms overflowing with mysterious bags. Her voice echoed with cheerful anticipation. "I came to keep you company this weekend." He regarded the assortment of shopping bags with muted curiosity. "What's the occasion?" She breezed past him with a playful smile, temporarily abandoning her cargo on the nearest surface. "You know how I've been doing that makeup course?" Leon nodded, brown hair falling into his eyes as he closed the door. He'd been hearing about the professional makeup artistry certificate program for months.
"Yeah, the one where you practice on anyone who sits still long enough?"
"Well," she drew out the word, suddenly looking mischievous. "I need to practice some more advanced techniques, and I thought, who better than my wonderful boyfriend who has nothing planned this weekend?" Leon's peaceful weekend evaporated before his eyes.
"You want to practice on me?"
"Just for fun. You'd be helping me out enormously." She unpacked the bags, revealing an assortment of cosmetics, brushes, and... was that clothing? "I don't know." His hesitation was genuine. It wasn't that he was particularly opposed to the idea, but it seemed like crossing a line somehow. "Please? I need to practice different face shapes, and I've already done all my female friends to death." She stepped closer, taking his hands. "It would just be us. No one else would see. You could help me get better at what I love doing." When she put it like that, how could he refuse?
"Fine,"
he conceded.
"But just makeup. Nothing crazy."
Her smile widened suspiciously. "Of course! Nothing crazy at all." 3 hours later, Leon stood frozen before the full-length mirror in his bedroom, utterly transformed. The person staring back at him wasn't Leon anymore, not even remotely.
"Holy,"
he whispered, voice catching in his throat. His girlfriend stood behind him, practically bouncing with excitement. "I told you I was good! What do you think?" What did he think? Leon couldn't form coherent thoughts. His face had been sculpted into something softer, more delicate. His brown hair, normally kept short and practical, had been artfully arranged with temporary extensions that cascaded past his shoulders in gentle waves. The navy blue cocktail dress hugged a figure he didn't know he had. Created through some kind of body-shaping undergarments his girlfriend had insisted were just basics. Nude stockings gave his legs a smooth, feminine contour, and the black heels, how was he even balancing in them, added height and changed his posture entirely.
"I don't recognize myself,"
he finally managed. "That's the point." She circled him, adjusting the dress. "You need a name for this look. You can't be Leon like this." He stared at the stranger in the mirror. The brown hair framed a face with subtly enhanced cheekbones, eyes that seemed larger and more expressive behind carefully applied makeup, and lips colored a soft pink that somehow looked natural despite being anything but.
"Cecilia,"
he said, without thinking. His girlfriend paused. "Cecilia? That's specific. Where did that come from? Leon, or Cecilia in this moment, shrugged.
I don't know. It just feels right.
The name had appeared in his mind fully formed, as if it had been waiting there all along.
Well, Cecilia, you look incredible. The makeup course is obviously paying off.
Leon took a tentative step, then another, surprised at how quickly he adapted to the heels.
This is wild. I never thought I could look like this.
Like what? Like... He gestured vaguely at the mirror. Beautiful. The word hung between them, unexpected and revelatory. His girlfriend smiled, but there was curiosity in her expression now.
Want to see what else you can do as Cecilia?
Leon found himself nodding. The transformation felt like a sort of freedom, permission to explore something he'd never considered before. What did you have in mind? Let's just stay in, have some wine, watch a movie, just as us. But with you as Cecilia. She squeezed his hand. It's just us here. No one else will know. That evening became one of the strangest and most comfortable of Leon's life. They ordered Thai food, drank red wine, and watched an old romantic comedy. What began as awkward and self-conscious, eating pad thai while wearing a cocktail dress, gradually shifted into something surprisingly natural. By midnight, Leon had forgotten to feel strange about crossing his legs or the way he held his wine glass. His awareness of the dress and makeup faded in and out, sometimes overwhelming, sometimes completely forgotten. When they went to bed, he carefully removed the dress and makeup as his girlfriend instructed. The brown hair extensions came off last, and as he looked in the bathroom mirror, scrubbed clean and back in his t-shirt and boxers, he felt an unexpected pang of loss. Thanks for being such a good sport, she said as they crawled into bed. You really helped me practice.
It was interesting.
Leon stared at the ceiling, searching for the right words.
I didn't hate it.
She propped herself up on one elbow. Really? You seemed to get pretty comfortable after a while. I did. The admission felt significant, though he couldn't articulate why. It was like playing a role, but also not. I can't explain it. She kissed his cheek. You don't have to explain it,
but if you ever want to let Cecilia out again, just say the word.
Leon nodded, still processing the evening's revelations. Sleep claimed him eventually, but his dreams were filled with reflections of someone both familiar and strange, someone with flowing brown hair and a confident smile who moved through the world with a grace he'd never known in his waking life. Morning arrived with gentle sunlight filtering through the blinds. His girlfriend had already risen, the smell of coffee wafting from the kitchen. Leon stretched, memories of the previous night floating back. Instead of embarrassment, he felt a quiet curiosity. In the kitchen, she was making pancakes, her hair tied in a messy bun.
Morning, sleepyhead. Coffee's fresh. Thanks.
He poured himself a cup.
So, about last night.
She turned from the stove. Yes? I was thinking, maybe we could do it again. For your practice, I mean. A knowing smile crossed her face. For my practice. Sure. I brought enough stuff for the whole weekend. After breakfast, the transformation began again. This time, Leon paid closer attention to the process. The foundation that evened his skin tone, the contouring that reshaped his face, the eye makeup that changed his entire expression. The brown hair extensions were applied with more care, and his girlfriend taught him how to blend them with his natural hair. You're a quick study, she remarked, as he successfully applied lip liner under her guidance.
It's interesting,
he admitted.
the technical aspects of it, I mean.
Today's outfit was more casual. Dark skinny jeans, a flowing cream blouse with delicate embroidery, and ankle boots with a modest heel. The look was completed with simple gold earrings and a pendant necklace.
Cecilia returns,
His girlfriend announced when they finished. The name resonated even more strongly today. Leon studied his reflection, noting how the outfit emphasized different aspects of his transformed appearance. Yesterday's cocktail dress had been a dramatic statement. Today's look felt more livable, something a woman might wear to meet friends for lunch. "What should we do today?" he asked, voice automatically rising to a softer register. His girlfriend's eyebrows rose slightly at the vocal change, but she didn't comment on it. "I thought we might stay in, but do you want to go somewhere?" The question sent a thrill of both terror and excitement through him. "Where could we go? I can't exactly run into anyone I know like this." "We could drive to that little bookstore cafe in Westbrook. It's 40 minutes away. No one would know us there." The possibility hung in the air between them. Leave the apartment? Be seen by strangers? The thought was terrifying and strangely compelling. Would I pass? The question was barely audible. She considered him carefully. "With the way you look right now? Absolutely. Your height works with the heels, your build is slim enough, and my makeup skills are frankly amazing." She smiled. "But that's not the real question, is it?" "What's the real question?" "Do you want to try?" Did he? Leon closed his eyes, imagining walking into a cafe, ordering coffee, browsing books. Simple, everyday actions, but as Cecilia. The scenario played out in his mind with surprising clarity. "Yes," he said finally. "I think I do." They prepared carefully. His girlfriend coached him on walking naturally in the ankle boots, keeping his movements smoother and less abrupt. They practiced his voice, not attempting a falsetto, which would sound artificial, but finding a gentle, mid-range tone that felt comfortable and believable. "The key is confidence," she advised as they drove. "If you act like you belong, people rarely question it." The bookstore cafe was exactly as she'd described. Small, independently owned, with mismatched furniture and the rich scent of coffee permeating the air. Leon's heart hammered as they walked from the car, each step on the pavement feeling monumental. "Ready?" she asked at the door. He nodded, unable to speak. Inside, warm lighting illuminated shelves of books and a dozen or so customers reading or chatting quietly. Leon followed his girlfriend to the counter, focusing on his breathing. The barista smiled. "What can I get for you, ladies?" Ladies. The word washed over Leon like a wave. He wasn't being scrutinized or questioned. He was simply being included in that casual plural noun. "I'll have a cappuccino," his girlfriend ordered. "Cecilia?" The use of that name in public sent another thrill through him. "Chai latte, please," he replied, voice controlled and soft. "Coming right up." They found seats near a window, and Leon gradually relaxed as it became clear that no one was giving him a second glance. He was just another customer enjoying a Saturday afternoon. The brown hair extensions felt natural now, and when he tucked a strand behind his ear, the gesture came without thought. "How does it feel?" his girlfriend asked quietly. Leon took a moment to assess the complex emotions swirling within him. "Free,"
he said finally. It feels free.
They spent 2 hours at the cafe, browsing books, talking softly, existing in a bubble of discovery. When they finally returned to the car, Leon felt both exhausted and exhilarated.
That was incredible, he admitted as they drove home. Thank you for suggesting it.
You're welcome. She glanced at him. You know, for someone doing this just for fun, you seemed very natural out there. The observation hung between them, neither accusation nor judgment, just a gentle nudge toward further reflection. Back at the apartment, Leon didn't immediately change back. Instead, they made dinner together, Cecilia chopping vegetables while his girlfriend prepared chicken for stir-fry. The domestic scene felt strangely right, as if they'd discovered a new dimension to their relationship. Later, as they sat on the couch with the remains of dinner on the coffee table, his girlfriend asked the question that had been building all day. Is this something you've thought about before? Being a woman? Leon considered the question seriously.
Not explicitly, no, but there's always been something. He searched for the right words. Something that didn't quite fit. I never knew what it was.
And now?
Now I'm wondering if this is it. If Cecilia isn't just a character we created, but a part of me that's been waiting to be acknowledged.
His girlfriend took his hand.
Whatever this is or becomes, I'm here for the journey.
That night, removing the makeup and clothes felt even more poignant than before. Each item represented a piece of the freedom he'd experienced. The brown hair extensions came off last again, and Leon stood before the mirror, looking at his male form with new eyes.
What am I going to do on Monday?
He whispered to his reflection.
Go back to being just Leon.
The question followed him into sleep, along with dreams of choices and pathways, all featuring the woman with flowing brown hair who moved through the world with such natural grace. Sunday morning brought clarity. Leon woke with purpose, a decision forming even before he was fully conscious.
I want to try something,
he told his girlfriend over breakfast. Could you help me transform into Cecilia again, but more subtle? Something that could be a starting point, something I could potentially maintain? She studied him thoughtfully. You're thinking beyond this weekend? I am. The admission felt monumental. I don't know exactly what this means yet, but I need to explore it more. His girlfriend nodded slowly. We could start with some subtle changes that wouldn't draw attention at work. Cleared eyebrows, perhaps a light tint to your lips that could pass for natural. Your hair is already getting longer. We could style it differently. They spent Sunday exploring these middle ground options. Leon learned the basics of skincare that would improve his complexion without looking like makeup. They practiced styling his natural hair in ways that looked professional but leaned slightly feminine. His girlfriend showed him how subtle nail care could make his hands appear more graceful. None of this would raise eyebrows at work, she assured him. It's all in the realm of well-groomed professional man. But for you, it could be the beginning of something else. That evening, they talked for hours about possibilities and practicalities. What would gradual transition look like? What resources existed for people questioning their gender? How might friends, family, and colleagues react?
I'm scared,
Leon admitted as their weekend drew to a close. But I'm more scared of not exploring this at all. His girlfriend squeezed his hand. One step at a time, and I'll be with you. Monday morning arrived too quickly. Leon dressed in his usual work clothes, charcoal slacks, light blue button-down shirt, polished black shoes. But subtle differences remained from the weekend's explorations. His eyebrows were more defined, his skin glowed from proper moisturizing, and his brown hair was styled with just a touch more volume and movement. "You look good," his girlfriend said, straightening his collar. "Professional, put together. But not obviously different?" Anxiety tinged his voice. "Not obviously. Just better." She smiled. "Call me at lunch. Let me know how it feels." The workday passed in a blur of normality, punctuated by moments of self-awareness. No one commented on his appearance, though he caught his office manager looking at him with a slightly puzzled expression, as if trying to place what had changed. At lunch, he called his girlfriend as promised.
"No one said anything,"
he reported. "But I feel different." "Different how?" He lowered his voice, though he was alone in the break room. "Like I'm hiding in plain sight. Like I'm Cecilia wearing a Leon costume." She laughed softly. "That's quite an image. Are you okay with that feeling?" "I think so. It's like having a secret superpower." The weeks that followed established a new pattern. Weekdays were spent as Leon with increasingly subtle feminine touches that colleagues either didn't notice or didn't mention. Weekends became Cecilia's time, exploring different styles, practicing makeup techniques, and occasionally venturing out to places where they wouldn't encounter friends or acquaintances. 1 month into this double life, Leon sat at his computer late one night, researching hormone therapy. The brown hair from his last Cecilia transformation was tied back in a loose ponytail. He'd been growing it out gradually, explaining to colleagues that he was trying something new. His girlfriend found him there, eyes fixed on medical information about estrogen and testosterone blockers. "Heavy reading," she observed, sitting beside him. "Yeah." He didn't close the browser window. "I've been thinking more seriously about medical transition. Not immediately, but eventually." She nodded, unsurprised. "I thought you might be heading in that direction." "Would it change things between us? If I became Cecilia permanently?" She considered the question carefully. "Our relationship would change, yes. But relationships always evolve. The real question is whether we'd still want to be together through those changes." "And do you think we would?" "I fell in love with who you are, not just what you look like." She touched his growing hair gently. "I see the same soul in your eyes, whether you're presenting as Leon or Cecilia. That's what matters to me." Relief washed through him. "I'm going to make an appointment with a gender therapist. I need professional guidance for this journey." "That sounds like a wise next step." The following weeks brought more changes. Sessions with Dr. Monroe, a respected gender therapist, helped Leon articulate feelings he'd suppressed for years. The persistent sense of disconnect from his male identity, the comfort he found in feminine expression, the rightness he felt as Cecilia. "What you're describing is consistent with gender dysphoria," Dr. Monroe explained during their third session. "The question now is what path feels right for your transition." 2 months after that first weekend makeover, Leon officially began living as Cecilia outside of work. Her wardrobe expanded beyond borrowed clothes to pieces that truly expressed her emerging style. Professional but feminine, classic but with unexpected touches of color. The brown hair that had been part of her first transformation became her signature, now grown out enough to style without extensions. She practiced her voice until the higher register became natural, learned to walk confidently in modest heels, and developed the 1,000 small mannerisms that made her presentation consistent and authentic. Telling friends came next, carefully selected gatherings where she could explain her journey with her girlfriend by her side for support. Reactions ranged from immediate acceptance to confused but well-meaning questions. One friend simply hugged her and said, "I always thought you made a better woman than man," which made everyone laugh and broke the tension. Family proved more challenging. Her parents needed time to adjust to their son becoming their daughter, though they made sincere efforts to use her new name and pronouns. Her younger brother surprised everyone by being the most supportive, offering to take Cecilia shopping and providing unfiltered feedback on what styles suited her best.
"You can't wear that mustard color with your complexion,"
he declared during one shopping trip.
"Stick with jewel tones. They work better with your brown hair and skin tone."
Work remained the final frontier. After 6 months of therapy, 4 months on hormone therapy that had begun to soften her features and create subtle changes in her body, Cecilia made an appointment with her company's HR director. The morning of the meeting, she stood before her mirror in her apartment, dressed in a conservative black pencil skirt, burgundy blouse, and low heels. Her brown hair was styled in a simple bob, and her makeup was professional and understated. "You look perfect," her girlfriend assured her. "Totally appropriate for the workplace." "What if they fire me?" The fear had kept her awake for nights. "Then we fight it legally. But your company has good policies on paper, and you've documented everything. This is going to be okay." The HR meeting went better than expected. The director was prepared. Apparently, Cecilia wasn't the first employee to transition and had resources ready. They discussed a transition plan for the workplace, including when and how to inform colleagues, what facilities she would use, and how any instances of discrimination would be handled. "We want you to feel supported through this process," the HR director assured her. "Your work has always been excellent, and that's what matters most to this company." 2 weeks later, Cecilia walked into her office building as her authentic self for the first time. She had chosen a navy blue dress, an echo of that first transformation, with a tailored blazer and comfortable but professional heels. Her brown hair was freshly trimmed, her makeup flawless but subtle. Conversations paused as she walked to her desk. Some colleagues offered smiles of support. They had been informed by management the previous day. Others looked confused or uncomfortable. Her direct supervisor, a woman in her 50s who had always been fair but reserved, stopped by her desk mid-morning. "I want you to know," she said quietly, "that I expect the same quality of work from Cecilia that I received from Leon. But I also want to say that you look very nice today, and I hope this change brings you happiness." "Thank you," Cecilia replied, emotion making her voice even softer than usual. "That means a great deal to me." The workday passed in a blur of awkward moments, surprising kindnesses, and the strange experience of doing familiar tasks as her authentic self. By closing time, Cecilia was exhausted but triumphant. She had crossed the final threshold. There was no more compartmentalizing, no more double life. Just Cecilia, moving forward. "How does it feel?" her girlfriend asked that evening as they celebrated with takeout and champagne. "Being yourself everywhere now?" Cecilia considered the question, twirling the stem of her champagne glass thoughtfully. "It feels like putting down a heavy backpack I didn't even realize I was carrying. Everything's clearer now. My thoughts, my feelings, even how I experience the world." "I'm proud of you." Her girlfriend raised her glass. "To Cecilia, who was always there, just waiting to be recognized." 1 year after that first weekend of exploration, Cecilia stood before the mirror in their new apartment. They had moved in together 6 months ago, and marveled at the journey. Hormone therapy had continued to reshape her body in subtle but significant ways. Her face had softened, her hips had widened slightly, and her emotional landscape had shifted in ways both challenging and rewarding. Her brown hair now reached past her shoulders, healthy and natural. Her wardrobe had evolved from careful imitation to genuine personal style. Most importantly, the woman who looked back from the mirror was no longer a stranger or an experiment. She was simply Cecilia. Ready for your big day? Her girlfriend, now fiancé, appeared in the doorway. Today marked another milestone, Cecilia's first professional presentation at an industry conference as her authentic self. As ready as I'll ever be. She smoothed the front of her emerald green dress, checked her subtle jewelry, and took a deep breath. It's strange to think how this all started. One weekend, one makeover. Some part of you knew, her fiancé said, helping adjust the pendant necklace. The moment you said the name Cecilia, some part of you recognized your truth. Cecilia nodded. I'm grateful every day that you suggested that makeover, that you created a safe space for me to discover myself. I just provided the makeup and clothes. You did the hard work of becoming who you always were. As they headed out the door, Cecilia caught one last glimpse of herself in the hallway mirror. Confident, professional, and completely herself. The woman with the flowing brown hair who had first appeared in that reflection a year ago was no longer a stranger or an alternate version. She was simply Cecilia, moving through the world with the grace and authenticity she had always sought. The presentation went flawlessly. Standing at the podium, sharing her expertise with colleagues from across the industry, Cecilia felt a sense of completion. Her personal journey would continue. Transition was an ongoing process, but the fundamental question had been answered. Who was she? Cecilia. She had always been Cecilia, and now, finally, the world could see her too.
Thanks for watching, my girlies! Be sure to check out Patreon for more!